to another exciting episode of the What You Been Watching podcast. I am your host, the marvelous Mike D, joined as always by my co-host, cohort, and youngest brother,
MD3, Marcus Dudley, checking in on the YOU. What's going on out there in podcast land? We are broadcasting live from our central studio, the old think tank studios right here in the heart of Tallahassee. How are you today, my brother?
I'm good, man. It's been a long day, but I feel like I accomplished a lot. So at the end, I think that's really what matters.
That's good. That's good. The little victories.
Yeah.
Are you big on I know a lot of people say there was a study done that says that those people that make their bed in the morning first thing are more successful. And there was this whole thing about it. Did you ever hear that?
I have heard that, and I do make my bed every morning, but it's strictly so my girlfriend doesn't yell at me. So I guess in that way I'm successful because I don't get yelled at for that. So
and it's whatever. I don't know the facts on it, but my big thing is that they're like, oh, we've already accomplished something for the day, right?
And there's something to that.
There is, but also if we're setting the bar as low and it's done when you get at making your bed, then then to me there's no difference in saying I tied my shoes correctly. Or you know what I mean? To me, you can officially then set the bar of accomplishment wherever you want. Oh, I brushed my teeth today. And sometimes that is an accomplishment.
I was just going to say, especially when I was in the throes of my depression, I counted it as a big win if I took a shower and didn't immediately go back to bed for the rest of the day. So I guess it's all, it's a sliding scale. It's all objective or subjective.
My issue is that people just got hung up on it must be the bed. And I'm I don't think it actually has to be the bed. I think whatever fucking bar you set it at, that's it must be the bed. I'm no, it could be whatever it is that you set that at for you to quote unquote have your first win for the day.
Well, it's like people who say, in Europe they live longer because they drink wine all day and they eat a lot more fish, and it's no, they also have universal health care, so that's probably why they live a little bit longer
and walk more and drive less.
Right.
Yeah, I don't know, man.
And I'm sure it's not just the one thing of if I just drink red wine and eat fish, then I'm going to live to be 90. No, also having your medications paid for is, probably pretty key.
Yeah, that would help a little bit. But anyways,
doggy style.
Yeah, what else been going on with you, man?
Man, just not bad, but just weird family stuff. No secret, but I'm in a relationship with kids that. Not with kids. I'm in a relationship that has kids that aren't mine. Let me put it that way.
Gotcha.
I want to be very clear on this. I am nowhere on the Epstein files as far as I know.
Yeah, I would hope not. This whole thing come to a screeching halt.
I think.
Anyways,
if I was on the Epstein files, it's because I was the right age. Let me put it that way.
Right. Michael just blocked that part of his life out. Right. Yeah, that's fucked up. Anyways, plowing ahead. Though.
Just kids getting really attached. Little girl is starting to want to call me, her daddy and stuff like that, and it's a lot to take in. I feel both honored and terrified and proud and scared as shit. So it's a very, very awkward feeling for me. But
I think I'm not here to therapize you, but I think those are valid feelings in terms of what you just said. It is a lot, and it is an honor, and it is a bunch of things, but it's also weird. But but not because of anything she's doing. Just I get it.
No, just weird in terms of wow, especially me who never thought I would be in this position before and actively tried to avoid it, now to be finally caught up in this conundrum of damn, I really kind of like these kids. They're a little bit cool, but also please don't tell me I'm responsible.
Yeah, no. I do not claim any responsibility. I cannot sign forms for you or anything like that.
That's right.
That's funny.
I'm just here to put you on some cool shit and maybe, help to avoid the pitfalls. And, I'm more of a cautionary tale than a moral guide.
I've been used as the cautionary tale. It has its perks, but it's also man, I do things pretty well too. So,
yeah. How about you, man?
Man, just, watching the Flyers decide if they want to tank or still be competitive, mostly.
I'm so mad that they shut out the Penguins. I'm so mad
they
about
didn't shut them out. They won the game, but yeah, it was.
Well, I mean, effectively clipped them out of the finals, but
yeah, no, it's there's still a lot of season left, but no, the Penguins are going to make the playoffs. The Flyers are deciding if they are or not, and everyone right now is like, I want them to tank. I want them because the worse you do, the potentially better pick you get.
Right.
But when you have a lottery system where you put the bottom 10 or whatever teams in, there's no guarantee you're going to get the number 1 overall pick anyways. So a lot of people are mad when they're winning games. And I'm just of the mindset of like, man, I don't care, man. I want to see the teams I root for win. I want to see meaningful hockey. I want to see meaningful whatever. Like, I'm never just going to root against them.
Right.
So it's tough, man. It's tough. But I get it. Like, even last year, we were a bottom 4 team, somehow ended up with the 6th overall pick. So that's the lotto system for you.
Yeah.
And a team that was better than us got the number 1 overall pick. Right. So it's like, it doesn't just immediately correlate. So,
yeah. Anyway, speaking of seeds, go ahead and get your submissions in for our non-actionable bracket buster tournament featuring the most iconic character intros ever. Go ahead and put those brackets in, get them to us before the 30th, and win yourself some fabulous, cool prizes.
And if this aired after the tournaments, we hope that you did that and won yourself some cool prizes. Either way, do it though. Yeah,
that's right. Put them in there
just for fun.
Yeah, you can reach us at whatyoubeenwatchingpodcast@gmail.com or on Facebook at Dudley Bros Podcast.
On Instagram at whatyoubeenwatching and on YouTube at WBW Podcast. And look for that lovely banner done by the great wolf.matt.tattoos on Instagram. That's the middle duds himself.
That's the seal of approval right there.
That's right. We don't use blue checks or none of that crap. And if you like our interlude music, reach out to our good friend, Mr. A1. The man is a quadruple threat. He'll make beats for you if you need them. If you got like a podcast or something that you need some music for. If you just are an artist, if you just like good music, whatever, reach out to him. You can find him at a1music.reality@gmail.com.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
The man's got the flavors for you. We've been trying to tell y'all for quite some time. And just on a side note, this isn't a paid sponsorship. Y'all may not know this, but we have a Brothers in Arms show that we share a lot of solidarity with.
That's right.
And it is called Conscious Approach.
Yes.
So I behoove you that if you care about us at What You've Been Watching, go ahead and reach out to our good friends at The Conscious Approach. Our good friend JV Wins. Our good friends Dogon_SS skirt. They're really good people. They do a social commentary show.
It's definitely a lot more serious than the stupid shit that we tackle on our.
I don't know, man. Dogon's genuinely a pretty funny dude.
He is, but they definitely tackle more serious topic matter.
Yeah, but no, those are our brothers in arms over there, and so they gave us a shout out. We're going to reciprocate the favor. Right. So that's just what it is. So yeah.
You guys are invited to the cookout.
Yeah, 100%. I know, right? 100%. So, unofficial shout out for our good friends over there. So, y'all keep doing what you're doing. We'll keep being fans, and we'll take over together. We'll have a home and home one of these days where we get together. But till then,
is this a crossover episode? Doggy, what now?
Doggy, what now? So, anyways, with that being said, my brother, anything else you want to talk about before we get into it?
Nope. I think that covers it. So you got a question you want to ask me?
I sure do. I thought you'd never ask if I want to ask. My brother, what you been watching?
Good, sir. I have been going down a Tim Robinson rabbit hole.
Yes. The SNL Dropout.
Was he an SNL Dropout?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
That makes sense. He very clearly has a lot of like comedic writing chops. So, anyway, started watching the Detroiters with him and, Sam, what's his name? I can't think of his last name.
I can't either. I know what you're talking about, though.
But yeah, Tim and Sam.
Yeah. He's, Sam is also in Ted Lasso. I think he won either like a Golden Globe or an Emmy for his guest role. Okay. He plays like a Nigerian soccer like billionaire who wants to own a soccer club, and he's just so childish. He wants to recruit one of the guys from Ted Lasso's team, the FC Rovers or the Greyhounds, whatever they are. Yeah, and Yeah, he's the child.
Okay,
so
okay,
it's a really he's really good in it. But yeah, no. Anyways, I've seen a lot of other, not a lot. I've seen a fair amount of other Tim Robinson stuff. I've yet to see a single episode of Detroiters. Clearly, some things have made clips have made it through it on the social feeds and stuff like that. But
yeah,
never seen that one. What is it? They're advertising agencies or something like that.
Basically, yeah. But they're. Like you said, they're just idiot man-childs, like there's an episode where they go to buy a production van, so they can haul out their cameras and their sound equipment and this, that, the other. And they're immediately, as soon as they walk on the lot, they're sidetracked by this like bright orange Ducati. And so they go, fuck that. We're just going to go buy the motorcycle. And then it's just Sam up front with Tim Robinson holding them behind, and they get the leather jackets and the like open-faced helmets and stuff like that. And there's a scene where they literally go to work on the motorcycle. They're supposed to have a meeting with somebody, and they're like, man, I can't even think about this because like my crotch, it just aches for that rocket, man. Yeah, man, my crotch, it burns, it yearns for that rocket. And so they immediately leave and just go start riding around town again.
Yeah, it sounds like it's a Robinson sketch. Oh, yeah, man.
So they try to recruit the security guard that like lets people into the building or whatever, the lobby manager or whatever it is, because he has all these great sales pitch ideas, but they all just end with like, I'm black. And then the cops run in and start beating him to death.
There's sometimes when people don't know the way out of a sketch and you can just see like, we don't know how to end this sketch, but we got something that's just going to be weird.
Right. The awkwardness or the randomness is going to be our out.
Yeah, whatever happens, yeah.
But it works. It's still funny because every single pitch he has ends with the cops running in and beating the black guy to death. Whether it's a carpet commercial or... And the funny thing is, like, all the clients that he pitches this idea to love it. They're like, it's so woke and it's so progressive and it really makes a social commentary.
And this is the security guard that does all the pitches?
Yes.
Oh, my gosh.
Yes.
Oh, my gosh. Yeah, I haven't seen that show, but it's on the list, man. How many seasons is it, 2?
Yeah, two. Yeah. And it very, very short seasons. I think the first one's only like 8 episodes or so.
Yeah, they're really good about not overstaying their welcome on things.
Yeah.
And I like that. I like that. So what is your high marks of Detroiters?
High marks of Detroiters is it's so ADD and random that like the joke that they're currently making on screen typically isn't about the plot line at all. It's just them trying to be funny to each other or I hate to say awkward, but it's because it's not awkward comedy. It's not like you're sitting there like feeling icky or something like that, but it's just the joke usually has nothing to do with anything that came before it.
Right.
And I mean that in like the best way possible.
Yeah. This is 2 dudes hanging out riffing.
Yeah, exactly. So like another example would be they're trying to work up this great sales pitch for this high-end client that they have, and they get so hyped up that Tim Robinson just throws a stapler at the glass window, to their office or whatever, and it doesn't break. And so then they spend the next 3 minutes deciding whether or not that the glass is unbreakable or bulletproof, just throwing random objects at it. He picks up the chair and goes, the chair. And they start chanting. He throws the chair at it. They end up trying to pick up the desk, and as they're ramming the desk into the glass door, it just completely falls apart. And they're like, whoa, well, I mean, the glass is unbreakable, but the desk apparently not so, And so the sketch literally just ends with he throws, I don't even remember what it was, like a cup or a glass, a mug or something, and it just cracks. And they go, oh, well, I guess it's not unbreakable. Or is it just chip resistant? And he just throws himself at the glass.
That's so stupid. Tim Robinson, man. I appreciate the fact that his brand of comedy is uniquely his own.
Oh, yeah.
There's not, if you like, you always talk about like, don't hire a Willem Dafoe type, hire Willem Dafoe.
Right,
like,
exactly.
If you want the Tim Robinson experience, hire Tim Robinson. And even Paul Rudd has said, like, He's a genius. He might be the funniest person on the planet.
That's funny.
And Paul Rudd, you're going to say nice things about your co-stars and stuff, but he was like, it was a pretty sincere interview. And he's like, what are your thoughts on working with Tim Robinson? You've never really had any interactions with him before. He's like, yeah, I mean, I kind of knew the show, but like, this guy might be the funniest guy on the planet. Like, just the way his mind. So, I mean, that's pretty high praise coming from Paul Rudd. He's,
right. Yeah.
Might be the most affable person on the planet.
Yeah. I mean, surely, exactly. Yeah. I definitely want to check out. He has a show called "I Think You Should Leave." That's sort of a sketch comedy show. I've seen bits and pieces, and I'm sure that there's tons of memes out there floating around that come from the show. But I actually want to sit down and give that a look see, and because I think that again, I think he has a really, really good comedic writer's mind, and it's a very, very unique voice, and so I really want to see what happens when he's the front runner of that.
Yeah, it's almost. I think every episode is like 12 or 15 minutes or something like that, but then there's like maybe 2 or 3 sketches in each of them, and so it's very Aqua Teen Hunger Force in the fact of just like it's very weird, and it could be easily a show on Adult Swim. It's not,
right?
But you can get that brand of comedy almost. Just like how Eric Andre, it's like Eric Andre does Eric Andre, and you either love it or hate it.
He never hit with me.
Yeah,
quite
but I'm saying you either love it or hate it kind of thing. I think that's a lot of Tim Robinson.
I think that he is more of that awkward comedic personality where it's just the awkwardness is supposedly what makes it funny, and I don't like sitting in a comedic showing and feeling awkward or icky. So,
yeah, no, I think you'll like. I think you should leave. I've seen I think I've seen it all, but I watched season 1 a little bit more.
Okay.
Matthew kind of put me on a while ago, but there's some stuff in there that's hilarious, man. And if you like that, again, once you're in, go see Friendship.
Okay.
The one with Paul Rudd.
Yeah.
It's
not Judd Apatow. It's
no.
Who directed that?
It's a first time director, but he wrote the.
Oh, is it? Okay.
I don't know if he's a first time director, but he's a not a big name director.
Sure.
But he wrote the part just for Tim Robinson.
Oh, nice.
And so it was him taking on, when he wrote it, he was like, there's only one person that can play this. And
That's
when you
dope.
see the movie, you're like, oh, yeah, I see why they did that.
Right. Perfect synergy.
Yes. Not Sarah Silverman, I think we talked about it on the podcast before, described why Tim Robinson is so funny as it's almost like unfiltered male rage where he doesn't know where to direct it, where he gets so mad and he's like, but he doesn't know what to do with it. So it's like this alpha male energy that doesn't really understand what to do, like how to express his anger in any kind of proper manner.
That's funny.
And she did it in a way more elegant, like it actually made a lot more sense. I'm giving the Cliff Notes version of it. But when I saw that, I was like, she's actually kind of right in the sense of like, it's all male ego and this male fragility that's just like he doesn't understand how to get him being wrong or right or whatever with the situation. Almost like how Danny McBride, in a lot of his characters, will be inherently wrong and knows he's wrong and then will double down.
Right. Exactly.
It's kind of the same process.
Right.
It's just,
I don't know how to stop arguing, but if I stop yelling, then it means I lost. I love you. I'll be back.
Yeah, I'll be back. Where you going? To Shabooms. Yeah, I like that show. But kind of the same thing here, just a different method to get to the results, though. But yeah. So watch the Friendship. But when you want to rate Detroiters, or
I meant to ask you, have you seen any of his? What's the movie? The Chair Company.
Oh yes, I have. I wrote that on the board for us to talk about a while ago.
I know, that's why I brought it up.
Thank you. No, I kind of lost track of it. I may just restart it from the beginning. It's almost like, I think I'm gonna say there's like almost David Lynchian.
That's a bold statement.
Yeah, it's wild, man. Like it's really out there. I got to, I think about halfway through, and they don't really answer anything.
Okay,
but without spoiling anything, he goes to present this big time, like he's at this company. I forget what they do or whatever. He's like he's like setting up a shopping mall or something like that.
Okay.
He's responsible for that.
Right.
He goes to give this big presentation, and when he goes to sit down, the chair breaks. And he then like stumbles into what he thinks is this conspiracy about the chair company, and he cannot just let it go, the fact that he went to go sit down in this chair and it fell. It should have just been the end of it.
Right. Some random occurrence now all of a sudden has the biggest impact on his life kind of thing.
Yeah. And so then people try to stop him from investigating the chair company. It's really weird. I got to the point where it's very funny, but it's very weird, and I'm waiting for the end payoff. But then I was watching it when I was in Maryland, and then I traveled and just never really stepped back in. But I want to jump back into it. I think every episode's only like 30 minutes, but it's him trying to navigate and like as his like marriage falls apart over all that shit. And the movie Friendship's kind of the same way. You just can't leave well enough alone. Like an example, and only in his mind would something like this be true. Apparently, at one point, he wanted to open up a Jeep excursion. Sorry, it's a hilarious concept. Okay. A Jeep exploration company of like Cincinnati or whatever town he lives in.
What?
You know, you like when you go to the like Baja Peninsula, you'll rent Jeeps and do like
and you like driving on the beach and through the jungle. And
he wanted to do that, but in some like Ohioan company.
Why?
The concept is so funny.
Here's another bridge.
Yeah, dude.
Here's a factory that's shut down. There's a bunch of heroin addicts.
And just the way that they gloss over it, the wife comes down because she can tell something's off, and he's like, "You're thinking about starting up the Jeep Explorer." And he's like, no, I'm not. I tell you.
It's so ingrained that she automatically knows
that he really
thinking about the Jeep company again, aren't you?
He wants to do this. That's like his childhood calling. And he's settled to go work at this like real estate firm or whatever, but that's his calling. And again, it's a really subtle joke that you pick up on. And it's like, it's so damn funny in concept. So
that's funny.
But to answer your question, though, I have not finished The Chair Company, but it is something that now that you're into this world, we could I'll finish it and you can watch it and we can report back to the good people here at what you're watching.
Sounds like a plan, dude.
So there it is. There it is then. Well, yeah, you guys just helped us program direct. Look at that. Live on air.
We're not going to pay you, but
yeah, no.
You're not getting credit.
I don't get paid for it. So, did you want to review Detroiters?
Oh yeah. Let's see. I am going to give it one solid jingle, but could we get a different singer?
See, all right, I can tell. Also, Tim Robinson skateboards, man.
Does he?
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, he shreds, Brad.
Wow.
Yeah.
Him and Tony Hawk.
I know, right? All the similarities. Well, all right then, my brother. What else you been watching?
After that, I in a similar fashion, I fell down a Shane Gillis hole.
A Gillis hole.
Which sounds way dirtier than I meant it to be.
Yeah. Did you watch Beautiful Dogs?
I did watch Beautiful Dogs.
That is a great stand-up.
It really, really is. It's funny because he was always sold to me as a conservative comedian, you know? Conservative in terms of political party, not in terms of like he doesn't work blue.
Right.
But I really found that he was pushing against all sides, you know, both sides of the political spectrum in that special.
Yeah, I think his dad and stuff is very much so that way. But like the joke about like, he's like, "Oh, you cool young liberals right now, don't worry, it's coming. It's coming. I got to fight it down sometimes."
That's right. Like I'm Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde or something like, ugh.
Yeah.
Ugh. Why is there so many black people in every commercial now?
He's like, whoa, wait.
He's like, the second you start watching those World War II documentaries,
it's over.
It's over.
Yeah, he's like, you're young and cool and into history. If you're young and cool and into history, that's flag number one.
But yeah, I think we might have talked about it a little bit, but
we talked about the robot dogs ripping apart.
That's right. Beautiful dogs. The best dogs.
He's talking about.
He died crying.
No, when he does when he paints the picture of a bomb exploding at your little hide a hole or whatever, and all of a sudden mechanical robot dogs come in and just rip you apart. He's like, that is the nightmare fuel of nightmare fuel. Again, I'm butchering the joke, but the way he paints the picture.
What AI hellhole is this that I have awoken to?
Yeah, the robot dogs coming in and mauling someone apart. Anyways, what else did you watch, though?
I got down on some Tires, and I watched season 1 and 2 of Tires, which I got to say, I really, really, really like a lot. It has a very indie film feel to it, in terms of not just the cinematography. It very, very rarely is it ever, you know, a steady or a mounted camera. It's very much, it has a handheld feel, like almost like you're in the shop watching these things, the events happen around you, as opposed to like something like The Office or something like that, you know?
Yeah, no, It's very much so. Like we've talked about Swingers being kind of low on plot, but really high on charisma and character. This is kind of the same way in the terms of if you like the characters, not a lot, nothing happens. I'm not saying that, but there's not like major plot points are more like a phone call with somebody's dad that happens in the last 2 minutes and being like, oh, he's shutting it down, my good idea, or whatever it may be. It's not like episode to episode there's some major like, and then we all come together. It's just kind of hanging out at this shop with these buffoons.
Yeah. when he gets his bonus check and he just buys a gun and brings it into the shop, and he just pulls it on his coworker. He's like, so I got a gun with my and his coworker, was it Chris or something like that, is looking at him like, come on, man, don't do that. Like, don't worry, there's no bullets in there. Or is there? No, there's no bullets. But when I get some bullets, when I can afford the bullets, well, you better watch out.
He's just fucking with him the whole time.
Yeah. It's literally a show about friends breaking each other's balls all the time, which I love because that's just my sense of humor constantly. But there is a theme of camaraderie, and everybody's trying to pull together to get the shop up and running and bring it to the next level and elevate it and bring in more money and more clientele. But realistically, it's not about that at all. It's just these three dickheads just fucking with each other.
Pretty much. I like the fact that in season 1, it was mostly just Shane messing with Gillis. And then in season 2, he actually kind of talks about his own insecurities and like why he messes with Gillis. He's like, clearly it's fun to get a rise out of this guy.
Sure.
He's like, yeah, and he gets all, but he's like,
because it takes so little effort just to push him over the edge that like it's almost like you can't help yourself.
Yeah, and like he gives him false confidence just for a second, just to go like, I'm going to watch him fail if I give you the smallest bit of confidence, right? And so he's a jerk in that way, but he does give it back to himself. He does kind of have this admittance of like when he's trying to date that girl. He's very much so like, dude, I'm an idiot. I have no idea what I'm doing. Like, and I kind of like the fact that it really took the bully punch away from him some. It kind of showed his insecurities. I was like, okay, I can like this character more as opposed to just being a prick to everybody all the time.
Yeah, it does paint
especially
him,
when it brings in the way his dad kind of treated him.
What's his name?
Thomas Hayden.
Hayden Church. Yeah. And you really get a good sense of like, oh, this is why he is how he is, because that's what he was raised on. Just his dad giving him false confidence just to mess with him or undermine him. There's a scene where they're sitting at the Applebee's or something like that, and his dad is like, you want to ask out that waitress, right? He's like, Dad, I don't. Like, I'm fine. I'm good. She's just doing her job. Let me leave her alone. And he keeps hyping up Shane to the waitress. He's like, well, he's got a great job, and he's been working out and this, that, the other. And then as soon as Shane like takes the courage to ask the girl out and gets inevitably shut down, his dad's like, well, I wouldn't have done that. Like, that's not, what do you do?
Yeah.
How do you fuck that up? I handed her to you on a silver platter. And he's like, well, but I didn't want to do it anyway. It's like, yeah, but you kind of did. So
yeah, I like that they kind of tipped the scales a little bit for season 2. I did, because it's like season 1 was literally just the messing with the manager when he had a good idea.
Yeah, Will.
Yeah, Will. Yeah, his name's Steve Gerbins, and he brings him on his podcast all the time. His last name's Gerby. They call him Gerbies. But yeah, Will is the manager, the character he plays. And I like the fact that Will was kind of writing his own things, and then when like Gilly and Keeves took off on the internet, that's kind of what got Shane Gillis a job at SNL. Was Gilly and Keeves was taking off
temporarily.
Yeah, temporarily, right? And the director of that, Gilly and Keeves, is who directs Tires, and he said season 1 wouldn't have happened without Keeves. Like he's funny. Like, there's zero chance. It was just us shooting random stuff and like having ideas for a scene, and then him literally chopping it into a through line.
Nice.
So it's COVID times, and they were just trying to do something. So, but yeah, I dig that show. Like you said, it's got the independent feel, and it's a little bit of a throwback. It's not like a high pace, you know what I mean? You can
I hate to call it a slow burn, because it's definitely not that, but it's definitely not, like every 6 seconds there's a new punchline or a new joke. It's definitely not campy or madcap. It's very methodical in its humor.
It's very much so in a way. There's a lot of long pauses, but it's where The Office would just have Jim look at the camera and go like, huh? Or like do the quirky, huh? They just don't do that here. They just let it sit.
Or the Seinfeld, like boom, 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 boom. Yeah.
They just don't. They just let it breathe, and it works very well for that show, I think. So
yeah, I agree.
What do you want to rate
highly
it?
recommend.
Oh yeah, well you just rated it.
Oh yeah.
highly
I'm going to give it a hell of a discount on some really good tires.
I like that. All right, my brother, what else you been watching?
After that, small tangent, I watched the classic I want to say it's 1980, maybe 81, The Quest for Fire.
Michael throws around the word classic very liberally.
It is a classic. I mean, it won Academy Award for best makeup and stuff.
Oh, that's good. Okay. Well, all right.
I would say that qualifies.
Yeah. Or the makeup was classic. I've never heard of this. This is one of your delves into I watched the Last Emerald Unicorn the other day.
Emerald Unicorn?
Yeah,
I would watch that.
Yeah, or the Emerald Seas. I'm like, what's that about? It's about Ireland wizards and stuff that was made campily in the 1912s. And you're like, all right, cool. Anyways.
Essentially,
there's a troll in this movie.
There are no trolls. No, they do have Neanderthals and prehistoric peoples.
Oh, okay, pretty close.
And not to put a damper on it, but they also have a lot of sexual assault in this movie. I mean, anytime some poor Neanderthal woman bends over, she's getting something rammed in her. It's pretty bad. Like these poor women, just like they're bending over to drink water, and some dude just comes and runs out like.
More of that in a movie we're going to talk about. Great day. But yeah,
these poor Neolithic women.
Damn shame. Look how far we've come. Thank goodness.
I mean, most of us.
Furthermore, yeah. How far we got a lot further to go. Don't get me wrong. By the way, pivoting off of that subject.
Anyways, so it's basically it stars. Ron Perlman is the only actor that I could recognize in it, but which was amazing because everybody else has these big prosthetic, like Neanderthal, like foreheads and stuff, and the big teeth and the cheekbones, and they just literally put Ron Perlman out there, like, nah, you're good.
I was trying to not laugh. Ron Perlman.
Damn, this is gonna be the easiest makeup job we did all day.
I like Ron Perlman a lot. I'm really not trying to take shots. He's got that big old Lego black head.
I mean, he does have a very unique face.
Yeah, I'm not trying to be mean. No, he's awesome. I'm a big Ron Perlman fan. Yeah, I knew where you were going with that. And then you have Ron Perlman who just sit out there.
Like, so we're just gonna put you in furs and you're good to go. All right, sweet. Let's go. Let's go. So basically, it's about this tribe of Cro-Magnon men. Their seed flame, the fire that they constantly keep burning in order to cook their food, warm them, protect their cave. They get raided, and as they're trying to escape into a marsh, the elder accidentally dips the seed flame into the water, and
oh no!
Exactly, they got bruised. Oh no! So essentially, these three guys are sent on a quest in order to find a new flame because they have no knowledge of how to make fire. It's like they almost treat it like a gift from the gods in terms of you must go find the Holy Grail and bring it back to us kind of thing. Really, really interesting movie because I hate to say that there's no dialogue, but it's all, Neolithic, prehistoric, made up language. So the lines almost don't matter. You could watch this movie with no sound on, and it's a very visually telling movie. Like in a weird way, this movie is a perfect example of why film matters because it's a story told completely through the visual medium.
Okay. Are there like grunts somewhat in English, or are there segments that they do speak English?
I mean, like they have, when the fire goes out, it's ata, ata, ata. It's they're trying to chant for the fire or whatever. They meet a not a Cro-Magnon or a Homo sapien girl.
You walk around on two legs
erect.
Homo erectus.
That's right.
I didn't mean that. There, God.
It was
a half-baked interjection for y'all.
Naughty 666 jungle of
Shout
love.
out to my good friend in Maryland. I always called him Nasty Nate. He always appreciated that. Anyways, go ahead.
But anyway, yeah. They meet this Homo Homo sapiens woman, and she talks in her own prehistoric language. But again, it doesn't matter because there's no subtitles. There's no but you understand the implications. You understand the urgency. You understand the message that she's trying to convey. But realistically, it's a lot of like really, really good body work and a lot of telling the story through pantomime and body movements and sort of the way that they conduct themselves in the world.
Okay.
And really, really great cinematography and I'm not sure where they filmed. It had to have been either like Greenland or Iceland or someplace with like just lots of craggy moors and sort of misty areas. A lot of like algae over overgrown mosses and stuff like that.
So yeah, nice, not sets, but nice location
scenery.
scouting.
Yeah, exactly. So
that actually sounds like, done right, that could be a really good movie, actually, in the sense of like it's just putting a decent plot, a simple, but engaging plot in the middle of any, hey, these people need to find fire to survive. It's much like how the Raid has a simple plot. You need to go to the 30th floor to get the mob boss.
Start on first floor and work your way up to the 99th floor. It's simply that. It's the MacGuffin in this is very apparent and very pervasive throughout the entire movie.
Like, who dropped the fire is what I need to know.
What's that?
Did they banish that person?
No, unfortunately. But I kind of feel like in that time frame, it would have been like, all right, well, you got to leave, obviously, because you had one fucking job.
Our God, our life and our destroyer was in your hands, and you dropped it in the mud.
Exactly.
You clearly.
You know what? Out.
Until you come back with fire? No.
I invented a new term. It's called kick rocks. Yeah. And it's a Stone Age. So there's plenty of rocks for you to kick.
So get to it. Yeah, you are not welcome here. Right. This is our fire and our life and our death, and we worship it.
Not Ata, out.
Yeah. Oh, nice work. Nice work there.
Yeah. Highly, highly entertaining, and it's very interesting to see a movie. I think I'd previously talked about this with the movie Flow, where it's about the flood and sort of the animals all banding together and they get on a boat and like there's no line of dialogue per se. It's all told through animalistic grunts or whines or wheezes or what have you. Very, very similar in that vein. But visually speaking, it's a striking movie. Like it is very, very captivating.
Nice. And it was made in 1980 something?
Yeah, by some, I want to say like French-Canadian company. And I think that's one of the reasons why, I guess it didn't do very well in the States, but it did pretty well internationally. Again, because there's no like actual lines of dialogue or whatever. Again, it's a visual medium, or I'm sorry, it's a story told through the visual medium. So I think that sort of translates universally.
Yeah, no, that's true. Like I said, I don't watch as many like hoity-toity films as I used to, but I still appreciate it,
Even still, I think it's barely 100 minutes long, so you're in and out anyway.
Yeah, I can
it's very, very digestible.
Turns out lots of people have fire.
Well, there is a scene where they link up with this, I hate to say superior tribe, but they're like not modern man, but like the next evolutionary step of man, and they learn how to make fire, and there's this huge like celebration thing, and they're all like crying and rejoicing in terms of like, it's like they found God,
Yeah, all of my problems are solved now.
Exactly. Now we have fire. Look what I have created.
Yeah, man.
Wilson.
Yeah, that sounds like an interesting movie. I appreciate you bringing that to the table for us today.
Yeah.
Do you want to rate it or keep talking about it? Or
yeah, I'm gonna give it one big ass rock to the head.
I was about to say somebody's getting clubbed or stoned.
Oh, so many. Man. Don't bend over.
Okay, all right. Don't drop the soap. Prehistoric soap.
Oh, I will say there was one really funny part that I found hilarious. Was there's a scene where they're being stalked by saber-toothed tigers, and it's very clearly just lions, and they put prosthetic teeth in their mouths, and you can tell that the lions keep trying to like bat it away and move it out, and then they just spray painted stripes on these lions.
Oh, that's hilarious.
So,
that's hilarious.
It's
get them pissed off real quick.
It's like the old Mexican zoo where they just take a donkey and spray paint it with black and white stripes and like, we have a zebra.
We have a zebra. Like, no, it ain't a zebra. That's hilarious. That's hilarious. All right. Well, yeah. Did you? Oh, yeah. One big ass rock. Well, I guess on that note, let's take a break.
Yes, sir.
From who's our sponsor?
Our sponsor today. Well, I guess it depends. You know, when you got that extra duty.
We'll be right back.
From our sponsor, Adult Diapers. Because, you know, sometimes you get that little extra dribble that you weren't accounting for.
Ah, yes, the joys of getting older, having to adjust for things of that nature.
Sometimes I just like to take toilet paper and just clench it between my butt cheeks just in case.
Just in case. It's a ghetto version of Depends. All right, where were we?
Sir.
Yes, sir.
I have a question for you.
Okay.
Hey, what you been watching?
All right, let's start on HBO Max. Let's do that.
Okay.
I watched another crime documentary called The Lost Women of Highway 20.
Okay.
It takes place in Oregon in the 70s and the 90s, and it tells the tale of it starts with sadly a young girl. She's just a girl. Who disappeared.
Okay.
And
I'm sure she was found and everything turned out okay and everybody was happy afterwards, right?
Yeah, exactly. And it was no drama and they canceled the documentary
and they all lived happily ever after.
Right. And so this girl and her brother lived in Oregon. Their parents divorced. The dad got in trouble for he was a diddler apparently and got in trouble for that.
Okay.
But the mom got with this new guy, and this new guy at first was all the rave. And I'm going to spoil this for you guys. You know, the dad, the stepdad or whatever, like, you know, the son was like, I knew him as my dad. Like he took me fishing. He taught me how to hunt. He taught me how to do all these things. And in fact, I wanted to get to know my real dad one time with my sister, and had my dad come pick us up from a couple hours away, and my stepdad then said, like, hey, you remember what I told you? You know, don't let her out of your sight for any reason, this, that, and the third, right.
Don't let them be separate right. Keep an eye on this dude kind of thing.
Right. And he's like, you know, aye, Captain kind of thing. Turns out the stepdad was a monster.
10 times worse.
Yeah, and so that one story ends with the girl going missing, right?
Okay.
And then rewind.
This is while they're visiting their biological dad?
Yeah, no, sorry. So I did a bad job of telling the story. No, they both come back, and then the girl goes missing, right?
Okay.
And so then it rewinds back to the 70s where on a trail, this jogger went missing. They don't really tell you who reveal who it was, but they were searching, can't find this jogger. All of a sudden, they put up a reward for any information, like $1,000 reward, anybody that can find any information. Mm-hmm. Magically, within like a week, this guy comes back up saying, oh, I found these clothes in the woods. I wonder if I can get a reward for that. You know?
Okay.
And then turns out it was they let you know pretty quickly it was the same guy. The stepdad is this guy too.
Got you.
And he got off for that one.
So he was trying to cash in on his own crimes, basically.
Yeah, pretty much.
Okay.
And yeah. And so these sort of heinous things went on, and it's sad because there was another assault that took place of a Native American woman, and they did not treat her case with any form of dignity whatsoever. Oh, you sure you weren't coming on to him? How much did you have to drink? And blah 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 blah. And so
yeah.
And so a lot
all
of
those bullshit questions that hey, this is why women don't report that shit, and also there's a pandemic of Native American women who are just constantly disappeared.
Yeah,
it really is a problem. Not to bring it down, but
no, it further sells that point that you just said is all. And so, and again, even if that would have been taken with an iota of some insadio, a lot of the other stuff wouldn't happen. And so, the jogger goes missing, and then all that happens is all this weird stuff goes on. And all that happens is he gets transferred to a new. To Corvallis, which Corvallis, all that is just a hub. It's a college town. It's
okay.
Oregon State University.
Got you.
And so everyone started to figure out oh, poor guy, he couldn't have done anything with his daughter. He couldn't have. And then all the information comes out about and it was the primary suspect in the missing jogger, right? And he got off on some technicality because his buddy's wife lied, going oh, my buddy and him were here the whole time. Couldn't have been him.
I see. He's setting him up with the alibi.
Yeah. And so back then, forensics weren't what it was, and so on and so forth.
God, I've said it before. I'll say it again. But if ever I was going to be a serial killer, it would have to be pre 1985. Yeah, because I could have been so good at this.
Okay. Hey, Dennis from Always Sunny.
I know. There's no DNA. There's no forensic, science or whatever. I would have been such a great serial killer. Not that I would want to be, but I could have been.
Yeah. No, I get you. You missed your calling. I get it, Michael. No, but yeah, and so again, it's police officers not wanting to work with one another, but it's really this stretch of Highway 20 in Oregon pretty much goes coast to coast or whatever. Mm-hmm. And then it just started this, they pinned him, they tried to pin him with one, and then he got off on that on some technicality. They couldn't pin him for the kid missing, and so they just transferred him to Corvallis. Sure enough, two more people go missing, and then eventually what happens is they do find enough, they reopen the case for the jogger, and the wife of the guy who gave the alibi, they split up. And so a detective came in and was like, I need to talk to her ASAP.
Right.
When they did,
and she was like, fuck that.
Yeah, no, she was like, I'm not surprised you're here. I lied, and I've been waiting for this day for a long time. And I'm sorry I didn't come sooner. She's like, and she pretty much said, I lied my ass off. He was abusive, and I was afraid of what was going to happen to me if I didn't tell her story. I was going to
ask, what was her motivation in terms of trying to help this dude out?
Yeah, he's abusive, and and it was, he has a history of it. It wasn't like she was just making that up. But even then, the guy later being interviewed tried to roll his best friend that was there. And so both of them killed the jogger. And then, but this guy, man, this other dude, the stepdad or whatever, he was just a monster all up and down. And so there's all these unsolved cases up there, and they all are when they started to try to piece some of them together, he died. So he pled no contest to the killing of or the disappearance of his stepdaughter.
Okay.
And so again, you plead no contest to something. But the weird part is in the court, the judge immediately sealed that record as part of the plea deal, which that doesn't usually happen.
Yeah,
it was a weird thing. I'd never done that way before. So he just pled no contest. Okay. He was already serving a lot of time for the disappeared hiker. These other two women, when they're trying to find that out, and then he passed away. So, and then there's more and more stories all these Jane Does that have been appearing, and
they start tying them all to him. Basically,
not necessarily. They're just kind of do we wonder,
right,
kind of thing.
Is it coincidence or is there something more sinister?
And
kind
this
of thing?
guy, man, he worked for the state or whatever the state of it was a Oregon State Department of Transportation.
Okay.
And so what he was a road maintenance guy. So he would just ride around Highway 20 unsupervised, picking up hitchhikers and people that have cars broken down and stuff like that, completely unaccounted for. So who knows, man? But it was wild, man. And so it's just another thing that where like police don't want to work with one another because it's these good old boy systems, and well, I'm not sharing that with the county over there. I'm not sharing that with this and that. Thank God
they're not getting my collar.
Right, and thank God that FWC finally opened up their own forensics lab, and they were like, nope, we're getting all the information, and they had new technologies that were going to help solve things, and so they finally got
FBI.
No, the wildlife. I said Florida wildlife.
Right.
Yeah, sorry. Whatever the Oregon wildlife
equivalent is. Yes. Got you.
Those old habits. And so, yeah, they finally stepped in and intervened, but it's just like, man, what could have been prevented, if somebody were just believe somebody. So
Right. Had only these two people talked at any given point, most of this could have been avoided.
I mean, that's how Zodiac got away with it for so long. It was over multiple counties and this and that. But yeah, this guy was a dog crap human being, man. The weird thing about this documentary was that it had some woman narrator, and they like framed it as like, what if the trees could talk? And it was just, she wasn't in it that much, but it was just kind of like, and once again, the monster is on the loose, and only the forest knows the answer, and like, but this guy's behaviors was real weird. Like, and everything he did was, he'd almost admit this stuff, being like, I was the last person to see him alive. And I'm like, why would you say that?
Right.
Drive one of their friends out to the middle of nowhere, being like, you could hide a body out here and nobody would find it for years. And it's like, why are you telling people this, man? Like, yeah, he was a weird dude. It was an okay documentary. They kind of reveal everything a little too soon, but there's only 2 players. You know what I mean? They can't just make up stuff for you to. But it was mostly just, like I said, there were just these lost people that just unaccounted for because of this fucking guy. So.
Oh, and he ended up dying before justice was served?
No, he got justice. He was in prison for the murdering of the jogger. And then the other one, his stepdaughter, was no contest. And then when other things they were going to really start to try to bring things to light, he died. And so all the cases just came to a halt. It's like,
good.
That's what you get.
Good. All right.
So, yeah. It was an okay documentary, though. I try to watch these probably more than I should. But.
Well, that makes me want to go start a pistol, but that's okay.
I know, right?
I'm going to go try on nooses just for size.
Just to see if it fits, yeah. I'll rate this a weird framing device where the woman narrator speaks for the trees like the Lorax. So, other than that, it was fine.
I speak for the trees,
she does.
Also murder.
Yeah, if only you could rhyme that in some kind of susical form. You might be onto something. So,
I speak for the trees. I ate their knees.
It's close. We're getting somewhere. He's got a starting block.
Don't look in this area of the woods, please.
Dude, it was just crazy. I'm telling you, just believe people sometimes. It's the idea of being a law enforcement officer and just being like, well, I haven't heard both sides of the story.
Yeah,
like, what the
Sometimes
good old boy system. It's so gross to.
And also, like, there's something to be said for like, sometimes weird people just need to be reported. Like I don't mean to culture shame or like, people have their own thing or whatever. But like, sometimes a weird dude is just a weird dude.
Yeah, that's very.
Like. Oh, maybe it's autism. Maybe he's just thinks differently or has a different mindset. No, sometimes you're just a weird fuck.
Just weird, violent predators waiting,
And like, had anybody spoken up at any point and been like, I don't trust that guy.
I don't trust that guy. Yeah, no, 100%. 100%. Well, let's see. Where are we taking the show next?
Let's see. What do you rate it?
Oh, I said speaking for the.
Oh, yes. I'm sorry. Yes.
Lorax for the trees. Yeah.
Let's see. After that, what else you been watching, brother?
Just real quick, there is I'll just talk about it because it brings my daughter great joy and it brings me some peace because she likes the movie. There is a movie on Disney Plus called Ron's Gone Wrong.
Ron's Gone Wrong.
Wrong, yes. And it's actually
R-O-N apostrophe S.
Gone Wrong, yeah. And it really is about this kind of lonely kid. You find out his mom has passed away. And
in the typical Disney fashion.
Yeah. And so he lives with his grandma and his dad's, whatever, some inventor, whatever. But really, the point of the movie is that this giant company, like an Apple almost kind of thing, they release these like best friend out of the box robots.
Okay.
Right. And so everybody gets one the next day at school. Every single person has one. And
like a Child's Play, like Buddy or something like that.
But they're like these round, like pill shaped orbs, and they have like personalities, and like you're linked to like social media. You can be like, oh my God, can you take a photo for me? And they'll like They make friends with you and other robots and so on and so forth.
Just like a Furby, but clued into all of your social media.
Yeah, pretty much.
Gotcha.
But like they're supposed to hang out with and help you and this and that and the third. And so really the main protagonist is the lonely kid. Barney is his name. He doesn't get one, but they do go find the mom, or excuse me, the dad and the grandmother go find they don't realize, but it's a defective one. And they give it to the kid, and his security protocols are off, and so it does a lot of the things that it's not supposed to,
like saying the N-word.
No, not quite that. Not quite that. It is a Disney movie, but no, it.
That would be great.
Why would that be great?
I would watch that movie, especially on Disney. Let's go.
Okay, sure. Anyways, but like pushes a kid at one point, and so really, Ron's gone wrong is the thing, and it really leads to this robot being Barney's best friend, and it's actually a pretty fun tale. It's pretty heartwarming. At one point, Barney has all these rules. He's like, the robot wants to know, like, well, what is a friend? And he lays down all these rules, like, well, friendship's a two-way street, and you got to know everything about me, and this and that and the third. And then he realizes, Barney does, that like at no point has he ever tried to be a friend back to the robot. He's just kind of taking it for granted.
Gotcha.
And so he's had to earn the title of best friend. And so you can kind of see where things go on. And there's some advantages to the way that this kid's robot is not connected to the system at all. And there's two people that work at this Apple-esque company. And one of them is clearly like, how do we monetize this? And the other one's like this engineer that's like, no, I just wanted every kid to have a friend.
Sure. Right.
And I wanted them to never feel alone, because like I did. And so when he sees this robot disconnected from everything, and he just sees them out playing in the woods and doing all this stuff, he's like, no, that's how it's supposed to be.
Right. That was the goal I was going for. That was supposed to be the end result in terms of like every kid now has a friend.
Yeah.
As opposed to like, how do we monetize this? How do we collect their data and mine that?
That was a major plot point later in terms of now we know what to sell them and stuff like this.
Sure.
And so,
like, hey, this kid talks about Legos a lot. Let's try and sell him some Legos or Hot Wheels or whatever the thing may be.
Right. And so Isabel likes it a lot, and so I always see her laughing in there, and so I finally watched it on the couch with her the other night. It's pretty good.
Well, cool.
It was an enjoyable movie. It's not Pixar or anything, but it was a good movie, and so I just wanted to take the time that if you can't find something to watch with your kiddos at the house, give Ron's Gone Wrong a shot. It's got some good themes in there, and
this was on Netflix.
This is on Disney Plus.
Disney Plus. Okay.
Yeah, Disney Plus.
I'm sorry. Yes.
So I enjoyed it though. I will rate it one very funny faced blank kind of naked robot.
Okay.
And so, yeah, I just want to give it some love. I played it for her like a million times, and just because she laughs at it, so I'm like, all right, cool. Maybe I can get some peace while she goes to sleep or something like that. And
right.
Then I sat down and watched with her the other day. I was like, oh, okay, it's not bad actually. Not bad. Not just like farts are funny for kids,
Right.
But there's some of that too. But,
sure.
But yeah, I think that's all I'm going to say on that one though. Just wanted to give that a quick little recommendation.
All right. What else you been watching, my brother?
The last thing I wanted to bring up is the Maggie Gyllenhaal in theaters, The Bride.
Yeah, I kind of saw your little video short that you did.
Yes.
It appears that you don't have a lot of good things to say about this, so I'm interested to hear your take on this.
Yeah, you said off mic that like I was surprised to hear you be negative about it because usually you're pretty nice, and I addressed that on the short. Which if you want to join us on YouTube, join us at WBW Podcast. That's our handle on YouTube. Please like, subscribe. Again, we hate pandering. Help us out though. But yeah, I just didn't really have a lot of nice things to say about this movie, and there's things about it that are well done. And it's hard not to. If you watch any consistency of reviews on this movie, you're going to hear certain things said. And so I'm going to feel uncreative saying them. But I thought that before I read a single or watched a single review.
I mean, sometimes it's just a universal sentiment. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
like you might be saying the same thing as, Dan Murrell, but that doesn't necessarily mean it's a copied idea.
I saw it Thursday when it came out. And so I saw it pretty early on, and not even a lot of reviews weren't even out for it then. And so I try to I didn't even really watch them until I put my own out there, just so I don't want to regurgitate a bunch of stuff. But even if I did, screw it. Our platform allows us to talk about movies. If we want to talk about someone else's thoughts on a movie, we can do that too.
Exactly.
I don't want to hear your generation react to reactions. You know what I mean? Right. So no, there's things about this movie though, man. It opens up, and again, I'm going to spoil this movie, right? So if you have any interest in seeing it, we'll wait. Let us know what you thought, because I'm about to tell you what we thought. All right?
Wasn't that fun?
Yeah.
Or not?
Yeah. So that opens up, and it's the gun. I'm not going to do a play-by-play, but just a weird thing about it. It opens up, and it's about how Mary Shelley wrote Frankenstein on a dare back in like 1818. Mm-hmm. Right? Mm-hmm. And so...
Yeah, they were literally like... snowed in or something like that. There was a thunderstorm, and it literally just turned into like, well, let's see who can write the best horror story over the weekend.
Right. And so she clearly won. Yeah. But it opens with the ghost of Mary Shelley speaking in, I guess it's well-written dialogue. I guess there's a lot of big words, and she moves very fast, but it's the ghost of Mary Shelley that then is trying to lay out that she wants to get her story told, that Frankenstein was not the end-all, be-all of this tale. And so then she, I guess, like possesses Jessie Buckley's character, who is like a mafia call girl.
Okay.
Yeah, and so she's at this big mafia to-do, and then suddenly she's possessed with the ghost of Mary Shelley, and she starts going like, I'm not going to do the impression, but she speaks very like regal British. She goes from like, and again, you're going to hear this comparison in a lot of other reviews, kind of talking like Harley Quinn.
Gotcha.
To
okay.
talking like yes, and I'm doing a bad job. But like,
right. But
she speaks like Mary Shelley.
Very, very erudite, very like...
but not even. It's so choppy, and she's so angry that it just comes across as like a cartoon character almost. And so this starts happening when they're at this like mob dinner or whatever. And again, long story short, she gets thrown down the stairs and killed. Frankenstein, you get introduced to him, or Frankenstein's monster. He's, I guess, appreciates his father's name at this point because it's 100 years later. Like the scene where she gets thrown down the stairs takes place in 1930s, right? Okay. And so Frankenstein's been roaming the earth since 1819, he says.
Something
right?
like that, right?
So it's well over 100 years, and so you're in this new Chicago. And he goes to this doctor who is the Frankenstein tie-in. I forget her name. It's Annette Bening, who does a good job with what she's given.
Okay.
But she plays the mad scientist, and she's fun.
Like the stand-in Victor Frankenstein
pretty
kind
much,
of thing?
Pretty much.
Okay.
And he sells her on loneliness, and she's like, I'm not doing that for you. You're here to be studied. And he's like, no, you don't understand. I can't deal with the loneliness anymore. He's like, and his selling point was like, aren't you a mad scientist? And she kind of smirks like, all right, now you're playing to my sensibilities.
Sure. So
they create the bride. They go they dig up a corpse.
So it sounds like it's the plot of Bride of Frankenstein, in terms of Frankenstein goes and the monster goes and says, I need you to create me a mate because I am so unique that that no one can ever be on my level, but like I'm never going to find happiness with another person because I am such a unique creature that
people run away from me, dude.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Right.
So that part is pretty much the one for one. And then after that, it just starts taking a lot of liberties that just don't mash up very well.
Okay.
And there's a lot of really themes that would work on any one particular movie. Really, the movie is about finding your identity, because when she comes back to life, she has no recollection of who she was. And Frankenstein's like, how... wants her to love him because he clearly is, he's a pretty simple creature, but he's like, even arguing with the mad scientist about like, what if it's grotesque? He's like, I will love her no matter what. Like, you don't understand.
Sure. Because she's made for me.
Yeah. And they start like doing the process to bring her to life, to reinvigorate her, as they call it. And he's like, I can't, she's too beautiful. I can't, she's too beautiful. And he's like, doctor's like, dude, this is happening.
right.
You knock all, get over
these
yourself.
wheels are already in motion.
Yeah, this is happening, bro. And so then and I'm not just going to regurgitate the story, but then there's a lot of things come in. And so I was saying earlier that one of the large overarching themes is about finding her identity. So she doesn't know who she is. So there's that already. And so her big thing is like, so I'm just created to be your bride. That's it. And so she struggles with that a little bit. She doesn't know that her previous life, her name was Ida. That was the call girl for the mafia.
Okay.
Right? So she doesn't know that. They come up with this name called Penelope. She's like, what's my name then? He's like, how about Ginger? She's like, I don't like Ginger. Ginger what? Ginger Rogers. No, okay, no. And so Penelope is settled on it. It's Pretty Penny. And then it becomes like it's just
Pretty Penny. I guess you.
Yeah, and so then it just becomes way too many things. And the idea of trying to find your identity is one thing. This movie is a Frankensteinian monster, and the fact that there's all these genres and all these things going on that are then sewed together, and it is not as good as the sum of its parts, right?
Wow.
And so
that was a really, really good. Did you just try to say what I was trying to say, but smarter?
Maybe. But I mean, it feels corny to say because it's kind of low hanging fruit. But so maybe some of it thinks that was intentional, but none of it lands. They go into and then it does Bonnie and Clyde, and so the whole thing is that like these mafia people have been silencing women, right? Mm-hmm. There's a whole backstory with the police, so it's like a detective story with a mafia story, and like they've been silencing women's, and they use these call girls to get close to the mafia, and then they were gonna pull out, like get them all out, and then like bust the case. However, that fell through because somebody was crooked, right?
As usually happens.
Yeah, and so that's what. And they were silencing all these women. They were cutting their tongues out, and so it's really like you can't silence women, this and that. Which again, it's fine, but like that's just one part of it. So they talk about like violence against women shouldn't happen clearly. However, then they then like the backdrop of that is she doesn't really love Frankenstein. She understands that this is just kind of some dude he's hanging out with, and she wants to go have fun and let's do all this stuff. And he's like, let's go to the movies. He has panic attacks if he doesn't have this clip of some like Roger Astaire type.
Fred Astaire.
Fred Astaire, yeah. Fred
Ginger
Astaire.
Rogers, yeah.
Yeah. And so the Frankenstein, they just call him Frankie. He has like this cutout of this Fred Astaire played by Jake Gyllenhaal. And so she wants to go do that, and then she wants to go to this like underground rave steampunk kind of situation, which is just weird again.
Okay.
And my issue when
steampunk back then was not a thing. That's a very retroactive sort of view on history.
Yeah, and I'm kind of grossly overly simplifying too, but it's just aesthetically the movie does some things okay. It is unique, and I do appreciate the swing. It didn't make full contact. Got you. But I say all that to say, so we're like violence against women bad, right? Easy, agreeable. But like, what is the turning point in their relationship is watching every single passerby that gets a chance to like assault Jessie Buckley's character of the bride, which she does a phenomenal job. I said in the short, the performances are fine.
Sure.
But like every single person that's just like a passerby that's just like, what's up, toots? Like makes a run at her. And then it's not acceptable for women's violence, agreed with that. But yet what draws her to him is the fact that he stomps two dudes out in cold blood. And so it's like, it's acceptable to prove your love to me, but it's not. It didn't sit well with me.
It's acceptable to prove your love to me through violence and sadism, but also like the male gaze. Ooh,
yeah, and so it felt kind of weird. And again, I agree with the point of like I'm not saying like but it's not even like a men versus women thing. I bumped up against that idea of like. That was the turning point. Okay, so I'll even give him. Now she feels protected. Now she feels seen. Now she feels like, okay, he's not one of them types. Okay. So there's other things to go within that I can then kind of assume from what just happened.
Sure.
But I didn't understand that at all.
Is it just contradictory? Is it too, I hate to say hyperbole. Is it?
It just didn't.
Is it that it swings too far from one side to the other without any reconciliation or something like that?
Yeah, they never address it. Like, okay, and it happens multiple times. It's okay to murder for me. But like, I'm not, the bad part is the other side of this is like, so he's not supposed to stand up for the woman being sexually assaulted. Of course he is. But that's not, but the fact that that's the deciding factor, or like what starts to turn the tide is like, he'll murder for me. It's like, I just bumped up against it. Let's just say
I got you.
And again, I get he did the right thing by doing what he did, but it just became like, now I can start to see you as a lover potentially. And it's just like there's musical numbers in this, and if you've never seen Joker Folie à Deux, do at your own discretion. It's a very weird movie. I think this is what this was trying to be, in the fact of like Frank often perceives himself in these musical numbers. Like wherever they go on this tour of crime, they then have to go see a movie because it calms. They're like, it's following this fictional character of Jake Gyllenhaal being like, and in this movie, then he did this. And so they're following that as it goes on. And it's just not as good as the sum of its parts. And again, the performances are really strong. It's very well shot. In fact, I think it is the same director of photography that did Joker Folie à Deux. So there's things that it has going well for it. It's not sloppily, like you can tell whatever Maggie Gyllenhaal was doing was meticulous. It doesn't seem, but it's
not like slapdash or all like, it's not like she doesn't know what she's doing. It sounds like it's
way ambitious and it doesn't execute.
Got you. Well crafted, but maybe swings too far.
Yeah. And it did not land for me, man. And it's just this idea. There's just
funny.
A lot of contradictory things. And it's just like, again, they do the like, hey, toots, like, I think they do it like 3 times in the movie, and it's fine. Like, it's not okay, but like in terms of plot devices, you're like, we couldn't think of anything else.
Sure.
And it's going to get compared to Poor Things a lot, and it's going to get compared to the new Frankenstein that just came out, Guillermo del Toro's.
I mean, it has to, right?
And part of my issue with Poor Things was that Bella only discovered about herself via the act of sex, and I just thought, like, by the 5th time you see Emma Stone being like, oh, she's in a whorehouse again. Oh, she's sleeping with this guy again. It's like, is there no other path for self-discovery for her? Or is this just simply her manipulating the men around her with the easiest thing that she can do? But I just ran up against
Come see, come saw. I mean,
there's a joke I'm going to leave there, but come often. But I bumped up against those things for the same reasons. It just fell flat. Yeah. At one point, there's an actual musical number in there where they do a dance. It's way too much, man, and it doesn't do any of them well. Penelope Cruz and he's not a Skarsgård, but he's a Sarsgaard. Peter Sarsgaard. They play detectives, and they're both like, the whole Frankenstein operation is like the duo. She's like the quiet boss in charge, but he's just kind of the face of the operation.
Gotcha.
You can largely take their characters out of this movie. They have no real agency at the end. They all die in a shootout anyway. It's like, it just at the end, she comes in and is like, I'm in charge now. It's like, okay. Like, I don't know, man. They just try to shoehorn too much in.
So is the problem that it's too many stories trying to be told at once, or is it the framing structure? Is it you know what I mean? Is it the fact that they've tried to throw too many ideas into the pot, or is it the fact that they don't connect on any of the ideas that they threw in there?
I think the latter. I think they don't really connect on any of the ideas that they threw in there. It's like a possession movie with Mary Shelley, which randomly shows up at like the least opportune times. It's like, oh, be quiet here. And then she like can't control herself because Mary Shelley's like, oh, yelling about obscenities and stuff like that. It's like, what?
Because feminism, I have to have my voice.
And and she sparks this.
Shut up, bitch.
She sparks this revolution where like, because she shoots a cop or something like that, there's like a 2-minute scene of just like people starting to paint their face like her, and it's like, oh, now the women are
literally like Joker.
Yeah, and that's what. But it doesn't spend enough time. So the ideas that they do throw, they either don't spend enough time with them, or they just don't blend well. And so it's just kind of like, I walked away with like, it wasn't a good Bonnie and Clyde movie. It wasn't a good Joker Folie à Deux when they had a second bite. It wasn't even that good of a Frankenstein movie.
Right.
Not really that good of a detective noir movie. Not that good of a women's rights movie. It's all of those things, but not any one of them particularly well.
Sure. Just missed the mark on all accounts, basically.
Yeah, and so, I mean, again, Jessie Buckley gives a really strong performance, but even then, hers is kind of cartoonish, just watching her flip back and forth. Cartoonish. And her going from, like, the ghost of Mary Shelley possessing her, and there are some poignant moments where she does find her identity at the end. She has a final talk with Mary Shelley after everything's hit the fan, and it's like, so am I Ginger Rogers? No, not Ginger Rogers. No, I'm not Penelope. No, I'm not even Ida. And I'm not even the bride of Frankenstein. I'm just the bride. And she's like, good, now you got it. Now my story's told. Which is good, but it's like such a long way to get there. You're okay. Like,
it kind of wasn't worth the walk.
Yeah, it's just like the emotional or like philosophical impact of that was just dulled by everything else. That you're like, okay, cool, I guess.
All right.
And then so it didn't really land for me. And like I said, it's not at one. And again, I don't care about like make feminist uprising movies. I think we need more of them, to be honest with you. Just do it like I just want to see a good movie. And if that's what it is, I'm not against it. But at one point, the dialogue, she's literally screaming "Me Too" in the middle of an audience, and you're just like,
Lord.
You're like, and again,
I mean,
it's not.
I agree with the message, but maybe a little too on the nose.
Again, no problem with any of the messaging. It's like, don't take this as a way of like, I'm not taking shots at any.
Right. It's too woke.
No, I'm not saying that at all. Like, I don't give a shit about that in any way. It just felt too on the nose.
Okay.
And so it didn't really.
Hey, you're allowed to not like what you don't like. You know, it's fine for whatever reason, and that's fine. You know.
So and like Christian Bale does some really good things in this in his choices in terms of like he gets very guttural sometimes, and he's very like he is in awe of this woman, you know, and he's like he does these things sometimes where he kind of is slow to speak, and he's just like yes, and just like grunts a bunch, and it's a good performance. Again, like the performances are fine. It does some things well, but just it doesn't all come together. So
gotcha.
That would be my take on that. Again, go see it. I'm sure some people are going to love this, and there's going to be some film student about it. It's going to be like, you missed the point. Maybe I did. I just
sure.
There's too many weaving in and out for me to grab one and walk away and go, oh, okay,
gotcha.
Which again, there's plenty of movies that do that. Everything, Everywhere, All at Once, I could say is about just about everything.
Sure, but
the ride was enjoyable, and
that was done very cleverly and very. I mean, that's a well put together movie. I mean, just hands down. You know.
Yeah. So
anyway, so what are you going to rate it?
I will rate it some sewn together horse parts.
Okay.
Because I think that's where some of the skin probably came from.
From horse parts?
From Frankenstein, at least.
Oh, okay. I mean, you know, which part do we talk about?
I don't know, man. Who knows? I'll leave that up to your imagination.
One of those.
On that note, the John Hamm of it all. On that note, I think we're going to get out of here, right?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Go turn in your brackets now for fabulous prizes and fame.
Eternal glory. Eternal glory.
That's right. There can be only one.
That's what he says.
You'll become the Highlander.
Yeah, something like no promises, but we'll figure something out. So yeah, please go get those in. We are eagerly awaiting your submissions. So on that note, we recommend that you go watch a movie
and talk about it with someone that you love.
Until next time. Peace.